National identity is something we take for granted as Americans. We have a national identity. There isn't one in Afghanistan that I could see. There are tribes, and there's a lot of rivalry among the tribes. There's certainly a level of ethnic hatred among the tribes. The thing about nationalism is, in order for it to work, you have to have some sort of confidence in the national government. You have to view the capital with a sense of respect. It's not clear to me that that's happening now. It's not clear to me that anyone views the government with much respect. The level of corruption in Afghanistan, I could see, is off the charts. It's extraordinarily high. The main sign of the national government in the provincial communities is the schools. That's people's only link to the nation. Cultural heritage protection and nationalism and education were three interwoven themes that we continually discussed during my 8 days in the country. Cultural heritage protection is, of course, directly connected to national identity. You can't have the monuments be protected unless the monuments are made part of the nationalistic spirit of the country. That hasn't happened in Afghanistan. That's what needs to happen. So the children have no real sense of the cultural heritage of the areas. There was one point when we were visiting in Ghazni the tomb of Sultan Mahmud I, so about 1000 AD, who was the founder of the Ghaznavid Empire, which was the one time when Ghazni was really on the map, on the world stage. And we asked the children who gathered around us, the children were always gathering around us, what do you know about Sultan Mahmud I, who's arguably the most important figure in Afghan history? And none of them knew anything about him. This is in Ghazni, which was the center of the Ghaznavid Empire, and his picture, Sultan Mahmud's picture, hangs next to Hamid Karzai's picture all over town. So the fact that they didn't know who this guy was, even though they were playing in the vicinity of his mausoleum, spoke volumes about the lack of education and cultural heritage within the school system in Ghazni. What we proposed is that we pay for a series of books or at least educational programming for the children in the new schools, whether they're coloring books or some sort of puzzle where you put the cubes together and at the end there's one of the monuments of Afghanistan, but something in educational programming that would introduce the children to the monuments of the country. That's something that really needs to be inaugurated with the children in order for that level of respect to move up into the communities.